Live, Studio Golden Live. Studio Golden, where we put the G into Golden Entertainment. Now, while waiting for my guest, I mean, you already can tell who it's going to be by the by the title, but is this the first time me and kalin144 will be talking face to face? So this is going to be very exciting. I'll be discussing future projects with her live. I'm just texting her right now, making sure that she got the invite. Me and her we're working together on the 80th subscriber special is going to have two versions. Hi.
Hi.
So, before you joined, I was telling everybody that the 80th subscriber special is going to have two versions, and I actually am working with the Chuck E. Cheese animator to do something cool featuring Dusk Hollow Moon. I'm working on an animated version of the project. And I'm saying the project because I don't want to give anything away until you're done with the teaser. Because,
Right.
we have to keep some things under wraps.
Of course.
So I want to ask you, when did you start first doing art?
I've been doing some form of art since probably elementary school. I've made my own jewelry that I used to sell at fairs. I've done drawing, coloring. I used to paint. It's something I've done my life.
Oh, well, that's really cool. So like I told you, my original channel got hacked. And so this is me starting over. And I also want to say that I've noticed a huge increase since you've done me and my sister's personas. So you are a part of the channel, and I am very appreciative of what you do. So thank you.
Of course. As much as it helps you, it helps me a lot too, as this is a big coping skill for a lot of what I deal with day to day.
Right.
And so as much as it helps you, it helps me too. So it's nice to be able to work with someone that understands that.
And I totally agree. So I have a theater background in high school, which is another form of art.
Mhm.
Have you heard of the Broadway musical Avenue Q by any chance?
Not off the top of my head.
So it's an adult version of Sesame Street. And we had to do the school versions for very obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, one of the songs is literally called "You Can Be as Loud as the Hell You Want When You're Making Love." It is it is it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a puppet sex scene on stage. And and I remember very vividly because to prepare for our version, we had to watch kind of some clips from the actual Broadway version. So you know who Gary Coleman is, I'm assuming, right?
Believe so.
So he was a character in the show, and he in Avenue Q. It takes place in an apartment building, and he's the superintendent. So the two puppets are Kate Monson Princeton, and they go, "You." So Princeton goes, "You can't put your finger there. Put your finger there." And then Gary Coleman's got Gary Coleman. You hear what? Hell no! I won't tell them. Quiet down. So it's definitely worth a watch. It is on YouTube, and I will tell you, if you're in a bad mood and you want to laugh, it's definitely worth checking out.
Can you send me the link later?
Yeah, I definitely will. And I will tell you, it's very explicit. One of the puppets is gay, and they actually, this is actually really funny to me. So there are two gay puppets, and at the time, the mayor of New York actually officiated an actual wedding between the two puppets. And the the original actress for the puppets, John Tartaglia, who you may remember as on Playhouse Disney as Johnny and the Sprites, if you remember that show.
Yeah.
I'm very old. I'm an old spirit, so but I'm very happy. I want to say this. I'm very happy to work with you. Your art is just incredible.
Thank you.
So, I know you do commissions for other people, and I want
Mhm.
to. I've linked your this. I'm gonna. I want your Patreon later, so I can link that, so people can go to you if they feel pleased and require and commission get some art from you. Because
Definitely.
I
And
want you
right
to get.
now, oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Right now with those cats I just rescued, I'm doing pay what you want commissions just to try and get some money. The cats all have a pink eye right now, so I'm trying to get money
Ooh,
for the vet.
I I understand how that is. Vets are not cheap.
No.
Um, I actually lost my dog a few weeks ago. Well, my dad was she was old. She was very old, and it was time. She literally passed on the way to the vet. So I understand completely how much vets can be. So I want to help you get that commissions done by linking your Patreon. And you guys, we are working hand in hand together to create fun thumbnails for the videos. I have so much ideas coming, and I was only held back because I did not have a channel artist. And I posted a link on Facebook asking for what you saw, Dusk Hollow Moon, and she was the first one to answer the call, and we've been working hand in hand ever since. So you saw her art, and I cannot wait to see what she does for the 80th channel special subscriber special. And so I'm really excited to have her on board. I mean, I've gone through at least three other artists before you came along, and they just went ghost on me. So I don't know if I overworked them, but I don't want to overwork you where you decide I can't handle it anymore. So if you ever feel like I'm overworking you, please let me know. I want to work with you.
We have a pretty good, I'd say, communication and all that about like, hey, this is going on. It's gonna take me a little bit before I can get to what you need. And you've
Exactly.
always been really understanding and willing to work with me to make sure everything gets done and it all goes to plan.
And like she said, guys, she has cats with pink eye, and I'm trying to give her the space to handle what she needs to do. Because me as a content creator, it's not just about creating content for you guys, it's also hard work behind the scenes to be able to make sure everybody is on point, everybody's working hand in hand with each other. And I don't see that in a lot of YouTubers anymore. I mean, YouTubers used to really be good with their team, and now they're just like, hey, I need this done right now. Because you know what I mean, right?
Gotta get the next video out to get those views, to get that money. Keep pumping it out.
But I'm actually working with Caitlin because, well, I want her to feel like she has the space she needs. And being autistic, I totally understand how space is needed. You have to treat others the way you want to be treated, also, is a big thing. And,
Huge.
and she's working hard, I promise you. Guys, she is working on the thumbnail for the 80th subscriber special, but she also needs that space to handle what she needs to be handled. So, I actually just got a message from my sister here. Let me see if I can't find it. Uh-huh. So, my sister is trans, like I've told you. She says she wanted me to thank you personally live for creating her OC. So,
It was a lot of fun. A bit of a challenge to get the clothing right, but it was a lot of fun to figure it out.
yeah, you said you have a love-hate relationship with clothing.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's definitely a challenge.
And you guys, for you don't know, our OCs are actually from a very popular animated show here on YouTube, Hell of a Boss. Have you seen the latest episode, Caitlin?
Yes.
What did you think of seeing Barbie for the first time, actually seeing her interact with Blitz?
I like her character. I like the way she looks and all that. But there's something more going on with the reason she treats Blitz the way she does.
It just, I hope. I went to Comic Con with my sister. I told you we actually met Richard Horvitz, the voice actor from Moxie, and I sang "Oh Millie," and he actually joined in, and that was so much fun. That is something I want to do as a cover because there are so many fun songs in Hell of a Boss. The one I want to do the most is the one from Truth Seekers, Moxie and Blitz's Bad Trip.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Blitz, I can't see you. God, the smell is awful. Is that you? Is this a prank? Cause it is no prank, bitch. Hey, why do you sound like that? Cause you, my precious little bitch boy. Stop it, sir. On tripping balls.
I would
And
say my favorite is House of Asmodeus.
for me, it's a good episode. Don't get me wrong, but it is just hard to see Blitz and Solus getting treated like that.
It is, but I have I'm so connected to Robo Fizz and just Fizz in general. Like I connect with his backstory so much and just the way he is that I just have this deep love for him.
I mean, there's something out, like you said with Barb. There's also something going on with Fizz, Raleigh, and Blitz that we have not seen yet.
I've seen some theories that something happened with all three of them, and that's why they're all
Mmm.
arguing with each other.
If you have not known, you probably do. Alex Brightman, who voices Fizz, is also Broadway Beetlejuice.
Ooh.
So, and I can kind of do Broadway Beetlejuice, huh? Hey, folks, begging your pardon. Excuse me, sorry to barge in. Now let's skip the tears and start on the whole, being dead thing. So, it is very cool. I mean, it's kind of sad to see the show canceled for the second time, but I actually got it. So me and my sister attended Richard Horvitz's panel, and he said that Vizzy actually designed Moxie just for him. And Richard Horvitz is also in Beta Zim,
Yes.
and it kind of makes sense because they're both kind of similar but also so different. As he's this rude alien What? You're ugly when you lie, Dib. And Moxie's honestly, Moxie and Millie are too pure for hell at times.
Very much so.
But I think that's what keeps the show interesting. I mean, I've been watching all the way since the pilot for Hell of a Boss, and it's just been an incredible journey. I loved Kesha as
Mhm.
Beelzebub.
Yeah, I've binge watched that episode multiple times now.
It's just the only reason, and I'm saying this because they did say this out loud. The only reason they're back in hell because they had to suck a lot of pig dick,
Oh yeah.
and I'm still waiting for Hazbin Hotel.
I know. It's supposed to come out soon, but I don't know where and I'm like I need details.
Right? Um, Obviously, Vizzy is having a lot of behind the scenes trouble with that show, but the pilot really, the pilot is what got me hooked on Vizzy because she's different from a lot of other animators.
Definitely. And I like her style a lot. Just the way they're created. They're not too cartoony, but there's still enough there.
So, out of the two pilots, Hazbin Hotel or Hello Boss, which pilot did you like most?
I think I liked Hell of a not Hell of a Boss, Has Been Hotel more just because there seemed to be a lot more detail in there.
Right, it was a full 30 minutes as compared to Hell of a Boss's pilot was like 15. But I
They were
like
both
Hell of a
really good.
Yes, but I like Hell of a Bosses more just because we kind of got to see Billy again from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And the sass that kid had. It's been a little living hell having to be paralyzed so you fuck shits wouldn't kill me. But now I want death. I crave death. You're a selfish, greedy clown. And I'm a kid. We're supposed to like clowns, even the spineless, even the creepy ones. Hey, that's not. If I want to hear from a spineless jackass, I'd rip out your spine and ask you some serious shit. Hey, that's my husband you're talking to. Your husband? I figured you for a slut, but I didn't know you needed dick that bad. And you, what about me? Nothing. I don't talk to dogs. I'm a cat person. And
That was really funny.
and I feel like both shows both have their visual gags because that is one of the things I like most is the back things in the background like episode 1 the billboard. Have you know what I'm talking about, right? But it's did you know Richard Horvitz? Are you a Power Ranger fan?
I've seen it, my brothers were, but I never personally was.
Richard Horvitz was Alpha in the Power Rangers series, the original, and I did not realize that until I. Have you ever been to a con, like a Comic Con? So they have prints. So if you don't have something you want that you brought that you want signed, they'll have prints. And I saw a picture of Alpha 5 and I was like, wait a minute. Why does this look so familiar? Then it clicked in my ear. And another fun voice actor I got to meet was actually Courage.
Courage!
So the voice actor was so sweet. And I did my voice impression. Like, ooh, Mayor Burial, ooh. And the guy was like, his eyes lit up. And we did it in unison. And it was absolutely a very special moment because Courage was a huge part of my childhood.
Same
So,
here.
in your opinion, what was the creepiest Courage episode?
Hmm. Ooh, that's a tough question. They all had a little bit of creepy to them.
For me, the one that gave me nightmares was Ramsey's curse. Return the slab.
Honestly, I don't know off the top of my head. They didn't give me nightmares, but they all creep me out a little bit, but like in that good creepy way that it's like,
So we asked the voice actor of Courage what was the creepiest episode to him, and it was Freaky Fred. Remember, I'm naughty.
oh yeah.
So he said that that was his creepiest episode. Um, so pertaining, I'm kind of going to give it away a little bit for the 80th. The 80th subscriber special is a creepypasta, guys. And I want to ask you, when did you start reading creepypasta?
Middle school.
Middle school? What was your first one?
Slender Man.
Slenderman?
Yes.
For me, it was actually Keep a Light on for Ramus, which is another Splash Mountain one that I actually did for a YouTube video, and it's about this guy who steals. You know about Song of the South, right?
Yeah.
How it's the most controversial Disney movie ever. So
Oh yeah.
in the story, a guy steals a copy and brings it to Japan, America, and he actually works at Disney World. So he kills himself on the ride and haunts the ride. So I may have you do. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna have you do some FNAF style art for some creepypastas, just because I'm a big animatronic fan, big Chuck E. Cheese fan, and I actually know a guy who owns the original one of the an original set of Chuck E. Cheese animatronics, and he is. I love my job because it helps me connect to so many unique people, and it connected me to you, and I am so thankful we met because you've been an awesome person.
I'm definitely excited to do some of the more FNAF drawings. I have like all Five Nights at Freddy's game. I've been
Oh,
since the first one came
on
out, I've been
PlayStation,
addicted. I have them on the phone, the PlayStation, the computer, like it's bad.
what did you think of the FNAF movie trailer?
I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. I have a whole group ready to go already.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see Matthew Lillard as Purple Guy. Because, Matthew Lillard for Scream. And I think that was his first. Let's face it, Sid, your mother was no Sharon Stone. I'm feeling a little woozy here, man. I think you cut me too deep, Billy. So, getting to see him do more horror is going to be definitely something exciting.
Definitely.
So, what was your first horror movie while we're on the topic of horror?
Um, Friday the 13th. I watched that when I was 9, 10.
Which part of Friday the 13th, or was it the reboot?
It was the very first one like ever made.
Okay. For me,
And
it
then
was.
my
Go ahead.
second one that I personally like remember the most out of was Children of the Corn, the like original black and white Children of the Corn.
There was a black and white one?
I think so. Or at least it was
Huh.
black and white on the TV I was watching, but it was an old TV, so that could have been a problem too.
So
Like,
for me, it was Freddy versus Jason. Just because it was a huge thing to see two horror icons face each other. And that actually has an interesting story itself. You know how for fighting they have a weigh in? So in Las Vegas, they had an actual weigh in for Freddy versus
Oh,
Jason.
yeah.
And Freddy was like, "What? Can't speak for yourself, hockey puck?" And it was definitely that. I think is what started my love for horror things was Freddy versus Jason because Freddy is a horror icon without a doubt. And Jason, you know why we haven't had anything new Friday the 13th, right?
Mm-mm.
There was a legal battle over who owned Jason. And that was why the online game pretty much died.
Mm.
So now the rights are clear. We're getting a Camp Crystal Lake series next year on Peacock. So I don't know if we'll see Jason or his mom,
Both, I
but
hope.
I mean, one of the canceled sequels or reboots was supposed to include Jason's dad for the first time. So your cat's okay?
Yeah, think so.
Um, so we were going to see Jason's dad for the first time, and he had Jason's psychotic tendencies as well, from what I remember.
I
So
mean, there had to be something in that tree to make all that
Jason,
happen.
I mean, you saw Jason's mom in the first one; she was psychotic.
If I
So
remember correctly, she actually killed more than he did.
Jason, yeah, just because I know it wouldn't have made much sense, but it would have been okay, cool for Jason. Mom, I'm alive, and him just look around and see all the bodies. That's why he's a mute. He can't speak because of that horrific event. It's just a theory, a film theory. Things right now. Ow. Some of these voices take a toll. Like, you know who Markiplier is, right?
Of course.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, Ruin DLC. I cannot wait for that DLC to come out. Did you complete Security Breach?
Not fully, but I'm close.
You know that part when you're in the office and you're supposed to electrocute Monty and Chica?
Yeah.
There's no checkpoint before that, so I have to sneak past fucking Roxy again. And out of all the animatronics that you have to face in this Security Breach, Roxy's the one that gives you the most pain.
I personally think if you go through the one ending and you end up in that basement thing where you see the thing coming out of the fire, nope.
You mean
I ain't
Burnt
fucking with
Trap?
that. I ain't messing with that. No. No, thank you.
So, theorizing, who do you think Cassie is for Ruin?
Mm-mm. That's the kid, right?
Yes, the girl that you play as.
Personally, my theory is she was one of the not one of like one of the original ones that didn't get a suit and is trying to stop the new location from getting built and ruining more
I,
child lives.
I'd hate
'Cause
to
they
go
ruined a
Matt.
lot of lives.
I hate to go Matt Pat on this. I really do, but I think that Cassie is a clone of the kid who got stuffed in Circus Baby.
Oh no, I've watched a lot of videos on the theory, and if you read the books, there's a tombstone with Cassie's name on it.
Right. Mm-hmm. I almost forgot about that.
But that could be, we never really find out who was stuffed in Circus Baby to begin with, so that is a possibility.
I mean, it was Elizabeth Afton. Because remember,
I thought Elizabeth was the puppeteer.
wait, no, Puppet has, no, wait, I'm thinking of Golden Freddy who has two spirits.
Mhm.
But think, FNAF 4, and we saw the pink room with the mangle.
We did.
And who got mangled inside an animatronic? Elizabeth Afton. And think about it. The girl we saw had green eyes.
She did.
Circus Baby has green eyes now. And we don't specifically see Cassie yet, but I'm calling it she's gonna have green eyes.
Most
Cause
likely.
because you know Scott is all about those little details.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the MatPat episode about the Lonely Freddy?
Not yet. I don't think I've seen his videos.
Oh,
Or you
MatPat is very fun to watch. So in that episode, he does a little song about Fred, psychic friend Fredbear, the little plush. And in the song, he's like, is this supposed to be a slightly yellow text of yellow font? As if you're meaning it to be figurative, but if you're meaning it to be literal, you're literally opening up a can of worms. And speaking of can of worms, we never got the box. We never saw what happened to the with the box. Do you know what box I'm talking about, right?
I think so.
The locked box that we saw in 4.
I think there's gonna be a lot more. There's gonna be a lot more coming out and a lot more lore to figure it out.
I think Scott should do is hide that box in one of the in the first FNAF movie, and hey guys, look what's here. So blatantly obvious that that's what it's supposed to be, and we just see something like a hand coming out of the box, and it could be striped to match the puppet. I don't know. I'm crazy about theories.
It's not a bad thing.
Right. I mean, until we have proof, that's all we have is speculation.
And I
So,
think that's what a lot of these people run on is, hey, make your own theories, make your own speculations, and then it helps build anticipation and followers and everything else for them to be able to create more.
speaking of the FNAF movie, I really hope Markiplier appears.
Oh yeah. That would be so great.
He could have been phone guy for crying out loud. We just see the night guy pick up that phone and we hear this smooth, sexy voice. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to your new summer job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where fantasy and fun come to life. And then we just hear Markiplier die on the 4th night.
I mean, with how much he's done for the FNAF series and how much he's done for it, giving it credit and popularity and all that, he deserves something.
I mean, Daco got an Easter egg. So, Daco shared some photos on the set, and he, Razbowski, Koryak Kinshin, a bunch of these FNAF YouTubers are Employee of the Month pictures.
They better have Markiplier up there.
I did not spot Markiplier, but I think that we'll have some kind of flashback scene or whatever with Mark. My two choices for live action phone guy: Markiplier or Jacksepticeye. You just
Definitely.
you just like ho 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 hi and welcome. Jacksepticeye's energy compared to Markiplier's mellowness.
I feel like With Phone Guy, though, you need more of Markiplier's mellowness just to get the character right. I mean, Jacksepticeye is awesome in his own right, but he's just too high energy for that.
For Phone Guy. And speaking of Phone Guy, we've not heard from him since FNAF 3. What's the deal? They could have easily put Phone Guy into Security Breach in every office with a different clip. Because you know how you have to collect the CDs in Security Breach to
Yeah,
get Fanny's special. I think it would have been cool for us to hear like a different clip of Phone Guy in each of those offices.
definitely.
And Security Breach, for me, I've been experiencing lots of glitches. Like
Mhm.
I was hiding one time in a bin, just be grabbed by a security bot out of the bin for Chica to be teleported to me.
They're like,
Um,
no.
and I'm like, I'm going to get a little M-rated here, so it fucking pissed me off. Like just me hiding, I was checking the cameras just to hear that noise. Thanks, game. Thanks a lot for hindering my process.
I know I tried to start another saved one. And I kept getting this glitch towards the beginning of the game when you do that like first run scene with the
Monty,
alligator. Monty, yeah, on those stairs. Some reason I would glitch and I would get stuck on like the second to last platform. And no matter what I did, I could not get out. I'm just watching myself die repeatedly and I'm like, fix
you're
it.
just flipping off the fucking screen at that point. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
fuck, like, ugh.
I
So,
rage quit after about 50 times. I was like, no, I'm done.
so, did you have trouble in the daycare? Uh,
Weirdly, no. As much as I heard there were issues there, I didn't experience any.
I I was on the second to last generator, and then all of a sudden, fucking Moondrop would appear next to me and jump scare me. I'm like, hmm. I
I'm
had some
sorry, but that's my favorite character in Security
Moondrop.
Breach is Moondrop and his counterpart son. Just they're I love them.
You know they're voiced by Kellen Goff, right?
No, I didn't know
So
that.
Kellen Goff was Funtime Freddy, Glamrock Freddy, and he's also Sun and Moon. And I met Kellen Goff at Comic Con when I went, and I did my Gregory. You have to be careful, Gregory. And he was like, and then he answered in Funtime Freddy, like, "Wow, that was good. Good job, superstar." Mm. And it was just it's so cool because I even met Nolan North, who was Deadpool in the game. And I met childhood hero of mine, Steve Burns from Blue's Clues. And that's why I love being a YouTuber. I'm sponsored by Dubby, which is an energy drink. And do you drink energy drinks, Caitlin?
No, not personally.
Um, Definitely try this. It's a powder based, and me and my sister were both sponsored. Definitely give it a try when you can. It's jitterless. It doesn't make you crash, and if you use my code at checkout, you get a discount.
I'll have to check it out.
Um, once the stream is done, guys, I'm going to put a link to Dubby in the description. So if you guys want to check out as well, you can. Check out Studio G code at discount, and whoever uses my creator code at checkout, I get 10% back. So you guys will be definitely helping out the channel as well. If you guys want to help me support Caitlin, check out Dubby, and I can use money from the sales of Dubby to to pay Caitlin for her amazing work, guys. Um, so and guys, check out Hell of a Boss. Caitlin, like me and Caitlin were talking, it's an amazing show. I cannot wait to see like. I hope Barb comes back, Caitlin. I do.
Definitely.
I mean, she kind of sounded like Penny from Inspector Gadget a little bit. The
Little
old
bit.
animated series.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm speaking old here. Next, I'm going to be talking about Blockbuster.
Hey, Blockbuster was a lot of fun.
It was. There was one tape I would always check out when it was available. Frosty and Rudolph's Christmas in July. So, do you have any memories from Blockbuster you want to share?
Not from Blockbuster, but I remember going to like the drive-in every weekend and seeing some of those movies up on that big screen. That was always fun.
What was a movie you remember seeing at the drive-in?
Um, I think I saw a lot of the Transformer movies there.
Oh, that's the first one was good. The rest, in my opinion, were
They
blah.
went downhill. They so went downhill. They could have done so much more.
I'm trying to see the new one because I'm a sucker for the character RC.
I mean, I'm still gonna watch them just because I like the characters and I like the series, but they could have done so much more. They could have made it so much better.
Another blockbuster memory. I'm sounding old here. My dad rented me a GameCube game from Blockbuster,
Oh, the GameCube.
and it was an Avatar game based on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I remember playing the heck out of it until my dad had to take it back.
I definitely remember the GameCube. Me and my grandma had a lot of fun playing the different Mario games on there and trying to beat each other's high scores.
Did you ever play Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on the GameCube?
I believe so, yes.
Do you remember how hard you had to hit the drum where your
Oh
head
yeah.
would be red?
Oh yeah.
It was like, ow! So I had these two GameCube games, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and
Of
Pokemon
course.
Coliseum.
Of course.
Do you actually remember those?
I remember Coliseum, but I don't remember the other one. But like
So
I yeah.
Coliseum was the same as XD Gale of Darkness. We had to capture shadow Pokemon and purify them. And it debuted one of the most badass looking legendaries ever, Shadow Lugia.
I know.
And my sister was mad at me one day, so she broke both my discs.
At
And guess how much those games are on eBay?
least 100, if not more.
122.
Sounds about right.
And I live not too far from a vintage game store. And they sell Game Cubes. So when I get the chance, I'm buying a GameCube. I'm buying those games so I could relive my childhood because I remember getting home from school every day, just and hear that sting, because
Oh yeah,
those
whenever I hear that, it's like childhood memory unlocked.
right exactly, and you can't help but smile when you hear that,
Oh yeah.
and then hearing Nintendo, woohoo!
Oh yeah.
My favorite Mario game on GameCube was Mario Kart Double Dash.
Mine was Sunshine.
I played Sunshine. I owned it. I owned the Switch version, and I just kept having trouble because just as I was about to reach the next platform, the water ran out in the jetpack.
Oh, it was so much better on the GameCube than it is on the Switch.
I agree, because nothing beats those childhood memories.
Okay.
Playing with the GameCube controller, just like, yeah, come on, come on.
Mhm.
Did you ever Did you ever see the chainsaw controller for the GameCube for
No.
Resident Evil? Yeah,
No, I didn't.
Resident Evil had a chainsaw GameCube controller, and that's another thing. Weird accessories for game consoles. The Game Boy had a printer,
I remember the GameCube used to have the little thing you could attach to the bottom to play, like, the Game Boy games in it.
and then you had to screw it in. You had to put in the special disc.
It was work, but it was fun.
I actually remember playing Mario Pinball on my GameCube. The and it was so much fun just playing like game. I had my very first Game Boy game was Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tales, Dragon
Dragon
Tales.
Tales. My sister's was Strawberry Shortcake, and I remember Christmas. I got Pokemon Leaf Green, so aw.
Sorry, it's my service dog. You
No,
can
I
tell him
completely
getting a little bit.
understand. I understand.
Oh, I know too. Okay,
Dogs are the best.
definitely. Aren't you? You're
What
the best
breed
sister.
is your dog?
He's a little Yorkie,
Oh.
aren't you?
Aw.
That's enough. Come on, go play.
So, um, I think humans and dogs have a closer relationship than we do with cats. Because once a dog is bonded with you, they can tell when you're upset, when you're nervous, when you're stressed. And
I honestly think it depends on the cat because there's been some I've had that I had one before I had him that was basically treated me like a kitten. Would constantly groom me, was always around me, always was like I would cry on her and she would just be there helping me and calming me down. So I think it depends on the
the
bond you have
cat.
with and the cat.
So we're at 10 minutes left of the stream. I want to ask you: are you a Chuck E. Cheese fan?
I was as a kid. but now I'm kind of scared to go. Five Nights at Freddy's ruined that for me. I'm like, I have this new fear unlock that it's gonna come alive and kill me now, but yeah.
Um, what's a memory you have had at Chuck E. Cheese that you still remember to this day?
Um, I think the biggest memory I have was I had a birthday party there back when they still had the like live, not the live band, but they had the band
The
there,
animatronics, yes.
all the animatronics, the special like video they would show announcing you on the
Your
TV. They'd have like
birthday.
the Yeah, they'd have the man in the costume come out and do like a dance with you. That was a lot of fun.
Um,
The pizza was always gross. The rest of
the
it was fun.
pizza has actually gotten better, believe it or not. Eh, Remember how greasy the pizza used to be?
I know. We'd have to take like the whole napkin dispenser and just blot all the grease off before we could eat it.
The pizza is actually less greasy now.
Might
Um,
have to check it out. There's still a location close to me where I live.
did they get rid of the animatronics? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head.
If you go and they do have the animatronics, please the full band, please record it and send it to me.
I will do my best. Last time I
Yeah.
went, was like 2 or 3 years ago, and I know they still had it. Had the original with like the dog, the
Jasper, Helen, Munch, Pasquale, Chuck, and I'm going to put you, if you're a fan of old school stuff like that, I'm going to put you in contact with my friend Damon. He, like I said, he owns old school animatronics, and he I'm gonna have to tell you this off screen because he just doesn't want people to know because it can ruin his reputation.
yeah, that's fine.
But and I'm just gonna tell you I'm not gonna show you the picture because like he asked me not to share and I respect his private
Of course, we
privacy,
always respect.
right? And it's weird, but back so Chuck E. Cheese didn't always have full body animatronics. In the beginning, it was a portrait. They were half upper bodies only and a portrait. And then in the 90s, concept unification happened and the two pieces chains merged into one. And that's when we got our first look at the full bodied Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. But you know how latex is hard to breathe, right?
Oh yeah, so hard.
So in Concept Unification, Chucky and his friends actually had latex masks. And imagine how hard it was for that latex with the constant movement of the heat and the heat. My friend actually told me she she actually witnessed a Helen's mask just melting off the metal endo.
And that's where we got Five Nights at Freddy's from.
Not really, because FNAF isn't based on Chuck E. Cheese, it's actually based on its predecessor, Showbiz Pizza.
It was just kind of a joke with like the melting and how it's
Right,
creepy
no,
and
I know. But so you know who Barney is, I'm guessing.
the purple
For
bunny.
for no, Barney, the dinosaur.
Barney the purple dinosaur.
He was actually the voice of Jasper for a while until you know what he did.
Barney always creeped me out. I didn't like him as a kid.
For me, it wasn't Barney that creeped me out, it was Sesame Street.
I had a weird fascination with Sesame Street, even as a child, because I had this firm belief, and I know it's disproven, but I had this firm belief as a child that Bert and Ernie were a gay couple.
I mean, it certainly seemed like it.
I know they're brothers or whatever, but they in my childhood, I remember certain scenes and it was sketchy.
Did you know Barney and Fred are secret lovers from the Flintstones?
Oh yes, I've heard that. I
You'll
believe
have
it.
a gay old time.
Their wives were covers. It's okay.
I mean, I'm going to rip off a joke from one of my favorite comedians, John Mulaney. There were guys who were married and on the side total matadors. Because bowls. Um, so, yeah, so I, before we end this, I want to once again thank you for not only being the channel artist, but also coming on here and talking with me. I mean, it was fun.
It was a lot of
Hopefully,
fun.
hopefully you'll consider coming back and we can actually settle on a topic to discuss. So it was awesome having you. I hope you have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
And